and welcome to Big Kev's Cooking, part of the Men of Hope group and Black Swan. Today, it's going to be a real quick one today. It's a very simple one. It's omelettes. A lot of people get afraid of omelettes when it comes to tipping them out and presentation, but I'll show you there's a secret to that. Omelettes are great because you can use anything you've got left over in your fridge. If you've done a Sunday roast, the next day chop up some meat, potatoes and veg as an ingredient. Today, I made pizzas the other day, so I've got some chopped ham left, which I'm going to use. Obviously, I've got my grated cheese. The omelette will be 3 eggs. I'm not going to tip them too far because I'll bloody drop them. But the 3 eggs, a tomato, onion, and I've got some nice spinach leaves, baby spinach leaves for decoration afterwards. So, like I say, oh, and also because I like them, you don't have to, but I've also got some gherkins from when we had the when we did the burgers. So I've got these gherkins or cucumbers, dills, whichever you like to call them, and salt and pepper. So first things first, it's a 3-egg omelette. So we're going to get everything ready. Fortunately, a lot of this is ready because it's from previous dishes. So there's not a lot of prep to do. So first of all, I'm just going to chop up some tomato. I've got some ends of tomato, what I had left over from the pizza and some salads I've had. So I'm just going to chop them up into sort of smaller pieces because you don't want them too big, but they're going to go into your omelette. So there we go, nicely chopped up. And I'm going to put them into a bowl. So that goes into there. Into that bowl also, I'm just going to put a very tiny piece of onion, just to give it some crunch, and I like onion. So again, just chop it up small. Mind your fingers. And that's the thing. When you're using a knife, sometimes you see people going really fast. There's an art to it. Right, the art is you make a knuckle with your hand, if you can see that, and your knife. And then when you're cutting, you push the knife away from you, but you use your finger. So when you're cutting, you're always cutting away from you. So you won't cut yourself, says I, but you shouldn't do. And you can just practice by going slowly, use a rocking motion, and all that knuckle does is let you come along. It's like a guard. Anyway, that's something you practice. Something you're taught quite early to do. Some people can't do it. Some people don't do it. They do it about, but whatever. I just find using that gives me a good guide. It's almost like a ruler when you're doing cucumbers. You get pretty much even space because you're moving it along, you know, at an even pace. So you're going to get that. So in there we've got the tomato, we've got the onion. I'm going to put some ham in here. And the reason I'm putting it all in here is I'm mixing it all up first. This is obviously the filling for the omelette. And like I said, I'm going to put a gherkin in mine as well. I like gherkins. I don't know, some people don't, but I think that's the only thing what makes it McDonald's really nice is the gherkin. Not that I buy McDonald's very often, but there you go. And again, just thinly slice it up. Not all of it. That'll be enough. So that's half a gherkin I've used there. Put that in the bowl also. Season what's in here. Some pepper. A little bit of salt. Now give that a bit of a mix around. So there you have your filling. That's got the ham, it's got the tomato, a little bit of onion, and the gherkin. And I'll show you why I've put it in a bowl in a minute. Now I'm going to just get my 3 eggs. Just going to wipe my hands again. Ooh. So wash my hands. I did do them before I started. You just didn't catch me doing them. But because I've been touching onion again and stuff, I just clean my hands again. 3 eggs. As many eggs as you like. 3 eggs is a good size omelette. 2, and some people have 4. So breaking 1. 2, 3 eggs. Just use a fork to beat them up. You can use a whisk. I use a fork. It's only a small bowl. So we beat them up. So they're all incorporated. The yolks are all hashed to bits. And so it all blends. It's a nice colour. See how it's ribbon down there. More. And that's because I've seasoned the filling. I'm not going to season the egg because otherwise you'll get too salty. Some people will season the egg now and not the filling, but other people forget they've done that, and you get twice as much salt, and it doesn't taste the best. Now, why I put all these the tomato and the ham together is you can either stick that in a frying pan and heat it up in a frying pan just to soften it and to heat it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my omelette going, I'm going to put this in the microwave just for 1.5 minutes. So if you've got a microwave, great. If you haven't got a microwave, you do it on the pan. And here's my luscious neighbour just walked in, Bo. Hello, Bo. She smelt the omelette again. Yeah. She always knows when it's time to come to Uncle Kev's. Yeah. But anyway, I should now put this in the microwave. Bear with me 1 minute. Just push this chair back. Now, you've got to get the pan ready for the omelette. I don't know if you've seen this or many of you use it. It's the spray oil. I use it quite a lot. Otherwise, you use ordinary cooking oil. If you're using cooking oil, you put about a teaspoon in your pan. You get it really hot, and then you tip that out. You don't want to deep fry the omelette, so you tip it out so you've just got a base. This is to make sure your omelette doesn't stick. So I'm going to use this, and I use it quite heavily, all around my pan. And now I'll put my pan on to heat. Here's my back, 1 minute. So whilst we're just waiting for the pan to heat, we'll just go over what we've got. We've got this, the filling heating in the microwave. That will also help because when we put the cheese on, it'll melt quicker because that'll be very hot. We've got our eggs beaten up, ready to go, and so we're just waiting for this pan to heat up. Doesn't take long. And like I said, omelettes. There is no stopping what you put in an omelette. You can put whatever you like. Even make sweet omelettes. When you do the egg mix, just put a little bit of sugar in it, but maybe have some strawberries or some fruit, some peaches. People don't realise it's a bit like a, it's not really a souffle, but it's an egg which is fluffy and you've got nice fruit in it, and then you can use a nice syrup on the top. It'll be lovely. So here we go, our pan is almost smoking hot. And what I'm going to do now is just give that a mix. Get my pan, I'll get my mixture, pour it in my pan. If you can hear it, it's sizzling away. And now what I'll do is I'll just swill it around the pan, put it back on the heat. Just put it back on the heat and let that start to set. You don't want to burn it. So what you do is you get a fork and you keep teasing it. And by teasing it, I mean, just keep breaking the egg down whilst it's in the pan, whilst it's on the heat. So I know this looks a bit strange leaning over to do it, but it's you can see how it's beginning to set. A bit awkward because it's runny, but it's setting now. So it's setting all over, and I'm breaking it down a bit more, just on the heat. It's almost, you don't want scrambled egg, but you want it, if the reason I'm breaking it down, it cooks right through. It cooks a lot quicker. Otherwise, you'll get burnt on the top, on the bottom, and you'll get a puddle of raw egg on the top. So you just keep breaking it in until it's almost set, which is not far off. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit awkward, but you can see that just beginning to set there now. So I'm just going to put it back on the heat. Now my filling's done inside in the microwave, so I take that out. Nice and warm. Put this on one side, onto the mix, but onto one side, middle to one side. That was good, didn't it, Bub?
Lovely.
Good. So that's the mix. And now my cheese. Don't go overboard with cheese. Because you want to be able to taste the other things as well. So just cover with cheese. And that's that. Now, I'm going to stand up again because I need to just move the omelette around. Excuse me 1 minute. Now, this is the part I was telling you about. This is what everybody's frightened of. We get the spatula or slice, put it over, turn it over.
Wow!
And that's it. You see how that is? That's perfect there. And we'll put it back on the heat for a minute. Get ourselves a nice dish. So I have a nice dish here. Turn the heat off. Now, if you wanted to wait, you could make them beforehand and put them in the oven before you had dinner or something like that. That's fine. Now, I'm just going to take the core out of a bit of tomato. The core being with the stalk end, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to do a couple of slices. A couple of slices of red onion. Right. Going to get my omelette. And I'll get the plate. There you go, straight on there.
Very professional.
So now what we do is we just push the omelette to one side. So we've got some nice spinach leaves, which I would washed before. Put them on there. Just give it a bit of green. A couple of slices of tomato. Some red onion. And there we have a nice, simple omelette with a great filling, little side salad. That'll fill you right up.
That looks fantastic.
So I'm going to give this to Bo because she's drawing at the lips. And I'll wait and I'll see you again soon. And I'm just trying to read, Gerard's just sending me a message about the flyer, is it? The cooking group flyer, yes. Sorry, we've had a flyer made up. So any of you support workers or anybody out there, contact Gerard or the media group at Black Swan, because there is a good flyer and it will tell you a little bit about us and how to contact us for joining our groups. So until next week, bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.